Okay, so welcome everyone. Good morning, and thanks so much for joining. I know we really have a lot going on in our lives right now, and looking for things that we can do with our families. And I know many people say that they really want to learn mindfulness and be able to share that with their families, but often don't really have the time or aren't sure what to do. Yes, sweetie.
But like, just like talking to are they gonna be like on the screen?
Not this time, honey. When we do the school, our daughter's really wanting to see your faces. So maybe what we'll do is at the end, I'll turn off the recording, and then we could all say hello together to actually spend a moment to connect. Would that be nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see everybody. Okay. So what I'm going to do over the next, 10 weeks or so is to come online and share in some playful ways some different mindfulness practices that you might bring into your daily life. There's a really wonderful teacher named Thich Nhat Hanh, and he talks about the idea of planting seeds. So we're just gently planting seeds. Your children can participate in however they participate. Sitting still is not required. So getting up, exactly, moving around is totally fine. Just kind of allowing it to soak in. And the best way really for children to learn mindfulness is parents practicing ourselves. So parents or caregivers.
Mom, is okay?
That's okay if you feel safe. Yeah, it's pretty sturdy. So just what we're going to do is a little bit of a routine to start off. And I have this singing bowl. So when I am teaching mindfulness in person, I'm always asking questions, and it's very interactive, but we're not really able to do that in this context. However, when I pose a question, you could speak as a family together and share your ideas together. So here we have this lovely singing bowl, a beautiful musical sound. And what we're going to do each time is start off with a little listening practice. Now, I wonder, maybe you could put up your hands at home. Has anyone ever been asked to listen before? Certainly. So if there's ever a technical difficulty, please send me the chat. I've got it pulled up on my screen so that I can see. So what we're going to do is we're going to sound the singing bowl. And then, Adeline, what do we do when we hear the sound? We're going to raise our hand and we're going to listen, listen, listen. And when we no longer hear the sound, we'll lower our hand. Okay, everybody ready? Here we go. I'm going to actually give you a little test so that you can hear what it sounds like in case you need to adjust your volume. There we go. And just a reminder, if you're joining in, to please mute your microphone. Okay, here we go.
I still hear it. I hear it.
Yeah, we still hear it because we're a little bit closer. But I wonder, as we were listening to this, did anyone hear any other sounds? I sort of heard some sounds outside, and then I just came back to listening to this. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do, we'll do some apple soon. We will do it very soon. Now, who here knows how to breathe? Everybody, right? So we are going to spend a lot of time next week talking all about the breath, because breathing right now is so helpful for all of us. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 soft and deep breaths, kind of breathing right into our belly. Now, I've noticed over the years that when I invite children to take a deep breath, it often looks like this. Well, in some adults too. And that actually, it kind of feels a little bit kind of tense. So what we want to do is we are going to take 3 deep breaths. Yeah. Can you show us? Do you want to come and show? No. So what oh yes, we're going to do that next week. Adeline's doing some ballet breathing. Thank you. I see. So yeah, you can turn off the video, but I've been able to, I've learned something new this morning about Zoom, that I've been able to minimize it so I don't see anybody. So nobody is being recorded at all. So what you're gonna do is pretend that you have your favorite drink on your shoulder. Adeline, what's your favorite drink?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I like everything the same.
Oh, you like everything the same. For me, it's a latte. I'm feeling a lot of gratitude that we replaced our broken espresso maker recently. So we're gonna place our favorite drink on our shoulder. I thought you might have said hot chocolate. What do you think?
Smoothie.
Oh, a smoothie, yummy. So we're gonna pretend that we have our favorite drink on our shoulder. So if we took a deep breath and we were balancing our favorite drink and we went like this, what would happen? It would spill, right? Yes, so we are going to take 3 soft, deep breaths.
If you go like this,
Uh-huh.
and it's on your shoulders, it wouldn't.
Okay, so let's take 3 breaths together. I'm gonna sound the singing bowl. I've gotten some messages that the singing bowl lasts a lot longer here than it does out there. But I'm gonna sound the singing bowl. We'll raise our hand. We'll lower our hand when we no longer hear the sound. And then we'll take 3 soft and deep breaths, balancing our favorite drink. When I do this in person, it's always quite funny when the children will tell their parents what they think their favorite drink is. I'll let you think about that on your own.
I'm still thinking,
3
actually.
soft, deep breaths. Our favorite drink, your smoothie and my latte, balanced right here. That's a fun way to do it. Okay. So at the end of this session, I'm going to post a slide with some suggestions of home practice, and something as simple as that, just pausing throughout your day, taking 3 soft and deep breaths. It actually activates our parasympathetic nervous system. So that's a good word, kids, to practice. Parasympathetic nervous system, and then can help to calm our body.
Can I see me?
There you are. You can wave. You can wave to yourself, sweetie. So one of the best ways that I've found over the years to share.
The people up there have seen me.
Yeah, they all see you. They all see you. Could somebody type in a little smiley face to the chat? Because Adeline can then see that. She wants to know if people can see her. So one of the there you go. Look, they all see you, honey. They all see you. I know, that's fun, isn't it? So one of the, a really nice, gentle way to share mindfulness is through reading stories, right, sweetie? We read lots of stories in our home. And mindfulness doesn't have to be something that you add on into your day. You can take things that you do every day and just kind of bring some noticing to it. And even notice, I'm not even getting into a definition right now of what is mindfulness. Well, hey, why not? Mindfulness, it's knowing what you're doing while you're doing it, and in a kind, gentle way. So there's a super simple definition, but we'll work through that as we go over the course of the weeks. So let's snuggle in, get nice and comfortable. How would you like to snuggle in? You want to sit on my lap? or lie down? Okay, whatever you like. And we are going to share
Mom, it's too bright.
a story. Do you want to turn it off? Here, you can go press the button. So this is no ordinary apple.
Mom, don't turn it back.
There. Oh, that's nice, Adeline. I like the story time lighting. Well done. Okay. Here, how about if I go like that? Or if you sit right up there, sweetie. Or on this side.
I
Or on
can't
this
see
side.
though if I sit here. I cannot see the pink bird.
So there. How's that?
If I sit here, I can't see the pink bird. I can only
Okay,
see that
come.
much. Now I can't see any.
No, come. Sit on my lap. Sit on my lap, my love. Here we go. It was an ordinary day full of ordinary things. After school, Elliot went to his neighbor Carmen's house. He always went there until his parents got home from work. Hi, Carmen. Hi, Elliot. How was school today? It was okay. May I have a snack before I start my homework? Asked Elliot. Of course. Would you like an apple? An apple? Don't you have any candy? That's usually where lots of children yell out to me, what? Candy isn't a snack. Sorry, I'm all out of candy, but try this apple. It's very special. What's so special about it? It looks pretty ordinary to me. Oh, this is no ordinary apple, said Carmen. It might surprise you. Will it give me superpowers? What do you think? Maybe you could talk with your family. What kind of superpowers might an apple give you? If you want to share anything, you can put it in the chat. Well, I don't know, said Carmen. Would you like to find out? How? Said Elliot.
Yeah.
Eat the apple like you've never tasted one before. Only then will you discover what makes it so special. But I've eaten about 1 million apples. How can I do that? Asked Elliot. Adeline, how many apples do you think you've eaten before in your life?
23 and 4?
23 and 4? Yeah, that's a lot of apples, isn't it?
I mean, no. A billion gazillion 4?
1 billion gazillion 4. Someone asked about the title of the book. I have it up on the final closing slide. First off, tell me this. What color is the apple? It's red, Elliot said quickly. Is it? Look very closely. Elliot rolled the apple around in his hands. He noticed that some spots were pure red, some were green, and others were a little brown. There were even a few dull black speckles. There are so many different colors here. One second, honey. I guess it isn't just red.
Show me one smiley.
Oh, okay. She's looking at the smiley faces. Oh, a superpower. Here's a superpower that someone's written in. I love it. You can shoot apple juice out of your mouth. Haha, that's a fun one. A very good observation. And what does it feel like? Elliot looked puzzled. Like an apple, he said. Carmen laughed. Slowly feel it with your fingers. What do you notice? It's a little cold. Some parts are smooth and others are bumpy. Some places are hard and some are a little soft. Neat. Elliot was about to take a bite when Carmen gently raised her hand to stop him. Not yet. You haven't listened to it. Listen to the apple? How weird, Elliot thought. Feeling a little silly, he held it up to his ear, expecting to hear something. He heard nothing. Is that the only way to listen to an apple? Carmen asked. Elliot got an idea. He tossed the apple up in the air, and as it landed in his hands, he heard a hollow thwap. He smiled. He'd probably made that sound 1 million times before, but he'd never actually heard it. Now do I take a bite? He asked, growing a bit impatient. Not quite yet. What does it smell like? Elliot took a sniff. Fruity, I guess, and a little like flowers and springtime. After another moment, he laughed. It also feels cool and smooth against my nose. Another superpower has popped up, and that is to be healthy. Can I take a bite now? Elliot could feel his tummy rumbling. Sure, said Carmen, but I wonder what else you might discover if you bite it. Very slowly.
This is another superpower.
What?
You could chew apples out of your mouth.
You could chew apples out of your mouth. That's Adeline's superpower. Elliot,
No,
really?
Like even like get apples. Like you can toss apples out of your mouth, and then other people can get it and eat it.
Okay. Not right now, but sure, at some point you could toss them and share them with your friends. So he really wanted to figure out the secret of the apple. He decided to try. As he held it up to his lips, he noticed his mouth was watering. He was pretty sure this had never happened before. And as his teeth sunk in, he heard a loud, crisp crunch. He noticed the sweet appley juiciness in his mouth and little juice drops tickling his chin. The peel felt a little stringy, the flesh cool and a little spongy. Then came a burst of the familiar fresh appley smell. Notice what the apple tastes like in different parts of your mouth. You can do this if you chew it very slowly and try not to swallow just yet. Do you think you can do it? Elliot nodded. First he chewed with his front teeth, then with the teeth on one side and then the other, and next he rolled the chewed up apple around in his mouth. He even tried smooshing the apple against the top of his mouth with his tongue. He tasted it on the back of his tongue, the center, the front, one side, and the other.
See, Mom.
Oh, here you go, babe. He really wanted to swallow the whole time, but was determined. Oh dear, hang on. There. But he was determined not to. He was going to discover the secret. Are you ready to swallow it now? Yes, please, Elliot said through his apple-filled mouth. Now go ahead and see what you feel as the apple travels to your belly. It might help if you close your eyes. Elliot closed his eyes and concentrated as he swallowed. He could feel the moistness of the apple as it went down his throat. His belly had stopped rumbling and even felt a little more full. What did you notice? You know, the apple did taste different at the front of my mouth than at the back, Elliot said. In one part it was sweet, in another kind of tart, like two fruits in one. But even after all this time, Elliot still wasn't sure what made this particular apple so special. Yes, it was more colorful, more noisy, more fragrant, and more tasty than any apple he'd ever had before. In fact, it was the most appley apple ever. But why? So sorry, sweetie. What's the secret? Elliot asked. Why is this apple so super appley? What did you do to make it that way? Ah, said Carmen, it's not what I did that made it so special. It's what you did. Elliot looked proud. What I did? By slowing down when eating this apple and being curious about how it looks, feels, sounds, smells, and tastes, you made it extraordinary. And you know what? You can do this with any food. Okay, here's your turn to share. What foods might you like to try this with?
Mama.
What do you think, Adeline? What would you like to try eating this way? Elliot thought for a moment. Jelly beans? Sure. Ice cream? Absolutely. Even macaroni and cheese? Elliot couldn't imagine macaroni and cheese being even better. Yes, even macaroni and cheese.
Mama, gummy worms?
Gummy worms. Oh, lentils. All right, lentils, pizza, ice cream, and Adeline's vote is on gummy worms. You know, Elliot, you can try this with foods that aren't your favorite too. Really? I don't know. Broccoli is pretty gross, and peas, I don't think I could ever eat peas so slowly. Well, it's worth a try. Maybe start with one little pea. You might be amazed at what you discover, just like with the apple. Oh, lasagna, lazy lasagna. I think that would be a good recipe to share. Grapes, oranges, cookie, raisins, cotton candy. Oh, Adeline, someone else wants to try gummy worms. I love it. So Elliot thought for a moment, then he slowly and mindfully ate the rest of the apple. He thought about all the foods he could eat this way. He couldn't wait to show his family and friends. Suddenly, a huge smile washed over his face. He remembered that today was Friday, and that meant
pizza night.
Pizza night! Yes! So that was no ordinary apple by myself, Sarah Marlowe, and the author, Phil Pascuso, is the designer of the original Twitter bird. So you can see some relatives here and throughout the book. Now I see someone else suggested Brussels sprouts. Oh, that's one of my favorite foods. The irony is broccoli is one of my favorite, or one of my kids' favorite vegetables, but the editor chose to put broccoli in the book. We've got banana, some more gummy worms. I have an idea. Maybe we could try next week a short little gummy worm eating practice, or whatever kind of food that you like. But for now, I had asked everyone to bring a little piece of fruit, maybe an apple. So we are going to do a little short eating practice together. And then after that, we'll finish off with a few art ideas. So here I have a slice of an apple. But what I want to invite you to do is just take a moment with whatever fruit that you have and pretend that you are from another planet. So Adeline, I'm going to ask you to stand up for a moment because we may have been sitting for a little while. So let's take a pause and we're going to figure out, while we get our fruit, what planet we are from. And we are going to just do a little movement, stretch, wiggle, as if we are a creature from our other planet. Okay, here we go. A nice little, I don't know, what planet should we be from, Adeline? A unicorn star planet? What do you think?
Mouse planet.
A mouse planet.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm a little mouse.
So Adeline is being a little mouse from her mouse planet. Oh, right. So now let's come back together when you're ready and get your fruit or whatever it is that you're eating. So we have been sent from our planet to Earth to learn everything that we can to take back and share with our planet. So we have this food that we're holding, and I'm gonna give a little bit of a challenge if you're up for it. During this practice, we're gonna do our best to not say what it is, because if we're from another planet, we wouldn't know. When our earth brain comes in and starts saying, oh, it's this, just notice that and come back to seeing it and being with it as if you've never had it before. So let's start with looking at it. What do you see, Adeline, when you look at this?
It's a little yellow.
It's a little yellow.
And white.
And white. Yeah, what else?
And red.
Uh-huh.
A little brown.
A little brown. Do you see these little white dots?
Yeah, I said white.
Yeah, you do.
Black, dull speckles.
Dull speckles. It almost looks like a painting. Oh, there's a little flat spot. So how about we touch it now? What do you know? What does it feel like, sweetie?
Smooth.
Feels smooth. I can feel some wet, some moisture. This
Me
part's, yeah, like a little, excuse me, kind of, I don't know, almost a little sharp in a way. What is it? How about sound?
Mom, is it okay if I got this?
Go for it. Go for it. Does it make a sound?
Yeah, if you put like this.
Yeah.
Makes a
Oh,
sound.
like that. Maybe at home you could think of some ways to make a sound as well. There. I heard a little kind of crisp. Now here's a fun thing to do. Oh, you still have some left. I like to try this sometimes. How about, if you like, you can close your eyes for a moment and smell and slowly start to lift the object to your nose and notice the first moment that you can smell something. Oh, there it is. How would you describe? What do you smell?
Fruity.
Fruity. I smell the
And
earth.
spring.
Fruity and spring. Oh, and my mouth is now watering. Okay, so how about if you haven't eaten it already, let's start to raise it to your mouth. What do you notice? My mouth is really watering now, actually. So it can be a little tricky to guide you through eating while I'm actually eating. And I think I don't want to record this moment. So what I'm going to do is put the unknown object in my mouth, and I'm going to chew on one side and the other, and I'll notice what it sounds like, what it tastes like, and what it feels like. Here we go.
Mom.
Mm-hmm. If you want to write in anything that you noticed, but first of all, so I'd asked you for this challenge to not say what it is. Well, they can see you. You can't see them, but at the end, we're going to all come off and say hello. Feel free now to say, what is it that you were eating? So what were we eating?
Apple.
An apple, yes. And I really noticed how moist it was. There was so much juice. A bit sour. Oh, okay. Someone else tasted on each side of their mouth, and it's a grape. Okay, wonderful. I also noticed with mine that some parts were kind of crunchy and they disappeared.
Crunchy, smooth, and
crunchy, smooth, and what?
Juicy and
Yeah. Lovely. So many
and also
things.
Watery.
And watery. Sour and juicy. So lots of things that people noticed. Okay, so here's something we do every day. We eat every single day, right? So we could do this as a little bit of a practice. There are so many benefits to bringing awareness. Adeline's going to do some yoga here while we finish up, of bringing awareness to one thing at a time. So I have it taste like a pineapple, juicy and like a strawberry up front and watery on the side. So interesting, so many different ways that it tastes. Now we can't necessarily eat every single meal this way, but sometimes what I'll do is just invite my children or ourselves, remembering that the best way for children to learn is if we practice ourselves. So when I ask them something, I'll say it myself. One sec, honey. So even during a meal, we could say, hey, can you see 5 things about this food that maybe you haven't noticed before? Someone said, honey, it's juicier on the left instead of the right. So Adeline's asking me what things people have eaten. So I see grapes, pineapples, strawberries, oranges, and I bet some people ate an apple as well. So here it is to do a mindful eating mural. Here it is. So this is actually from a classroom, but it's something that you could do as a family, that each of you take a small piece of paper and you draw a food that you've eaten mindfully or that you would like to eat, or even after doing this practice, you could draw a picture. So you'll see someone when they ate a food, really noticing what it tastes like. It felt like unicorns or a pony. No, this was a pony and clouds and a rainbow. So with this, whatever their experience is their experience. So this can be a fun activity to do.
There's a hat.
There's a hat, yes. Okay, and then there's one other that I really like to do, and that is making, whoops, hang on. There we go, magnets. So let's put this full screen.
The best? I like that magnet.
It says eat. Oh, I don't think our friends can see it, so let me just share with them. This one. Adeline says she loves the one that says eat slowly and listen to your food. Love it. So here are some examples of a magnet that you can make, and I'll have instructions posted for a few moments at the end of this session. But basically you take a piece of paper and you can draw your favorite food, or you can give yourself a little message and then post it up on your fridge. You can order magnets right now, I believe, from Staples, that they have them. Okay.
When are we going to see the faces?
So we're going to see faces in just a moment. I want us to just finish off with one last little thing.
Peace.
One last little thing.
Like this. You want to do?
Oh, Adeline's suggesting that we do some peace. What I was thinking of is, I mean, right now, things are really different for us, right? And one of the things that we're doing every single day, a lot of, is washing our hands, right, Adeline?
Yeah, because we don't want to get the coronavirus. That's
right. And so it's so important that we wash our hands. And what we're starting to notice.
My nail is so big.
Yeah, we'll fix that after, honey. What we're noticing is that our hands are getting quite sore and a little bit raw sometimes. So let's just finish off with a short practice of kind of bringing some gratitude and some care to our hands. So let's lift up our hands, or you can do this however you like, but let's bring our hands together and just noticing what it feels like.
Feels
as our hands
sticky.
Are touching. You notice sticky. How about if we slowly start to rub our hands, almost as if we're petting a favorite animal or a stuffy, and then maybe kind of holding our hands, just seeing what that feels like. Really giving
not really hard.
Some care. Not hard. They feel soft. Mine feel warm.
Mine too.
And just really giving some care. You're giving your hands some kisses. Yeah. And even just kind of savoring what that feels like. It's warm and it's soft. Yeah, I see. Okay. So just a nice little appreciation for our hands. So I'm going to sound the singing bowl. We'll finish for today. And as I mentioned, next week, we're going to focus all about breathing. And then once we're finished, I'm going to turn off the recording and we can pop out and say hello to each other. And then I will finally, and say hi to Adeline, and then I will finally put up the last slide with some suggestions for art and practice over the coming week.
I want to suck on something.
Thanks for joining, everyone. See you next week, Wednesday at 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. I'm going to turn off the recording. And if you'd like to pop out and say hello, we'd love to meet you.